Hello students, today I am here with the third video of the capacitor series. Till now we have discussed about how to find the capacitance. We have find the expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor when there is vacuum within the plate between the plates and when there is dielectric which completely fills the gap between the plates. Okay. Now in today's video we are going to discuss about the parallel plate capacitor when a dielectric partially fills the gap between the plates. That means it is within some thickness. It doesn't completely fill. Okay, so this is the case here. So this is our capacitor. Okay, the separation between the plates is D, plate area is A, again the same terminology, and the thickness of the dielectric is T. You can clearly see from the diagram our dielectric is only within this small thickness T in this small region. Okay, so this is our dielectric, it is within this thickness T. So we have to analyze this question. So ultimate aim is to derive the expression of capacitance of this capacitor. So let's follow all the 4 steps we studied earlier. So the first step is to give the charge to the capacitor. Okay, so I have already given the charges. You can see that in this plate there is charge density plus sigma, in this another plate the charge density, we can always assume it. Okay, so let's the charge in this plate is plus sigma and in the another plate is minus sigma. Okay, now let's move to the next step. So the next step is the calculation of electric field. Okay, now if you see properly in this case here, it is the combination, this question is combination of vacuum plus dielectric. See if you see, there is a dielectric within some thickness and the remaining portion is vacuum. See, here it is vacuum, here it is vacuum. Okay, so this question is combination of dielectric and vacuum case. See, in the case of dielectric, in case of vacuum, we have already discussed that when there is vacuum completely between the plates, when there is no dielectric, in that case, we have already discussed that the electric field is given by sigma by epsilon naught. This is the case. This is the capacitor, and when there is vacuum between the plates, okay, no dielectric, in that case the electric field between the plates is given by sigma by epsilon naught. And we have also studied that when there is a dielectric which completely fills the gap, in that case in the region of dielectric the electric field is given by sigma by k epsilon naught. Only k comes here. So we have discussed these cases separately in the previous videos. Okay, if you haven't gone through this video, these concepts, link is in the description. Go check the second video first. Okay, so we have discussed these two cases separately. So in this case, this question is the combination of both the cases. Okay, there's some part in which there is a dielectric and there's some part in which there is a vacuum. So we can conclude that between the plates in the region of vacuum, this one and this one, the electric field is going to be sigma by epsilon naught here and here, but within the dielectric, the electric field is going to be sigma by k epsilon naught. This is the only difference here. That means the electric field is not the same throughout the region between the plates. See, it is constant within this region, that is sigma by epsilon naught. It is also constant within this region, but in this region the electric field intensity has changed. It is sigma by k epsilon naught. Okay, so this is the case of the electric field here. So we can break this question into two parts. Okay, because we know the electric field intensity within the dielectric and we also know the electric field intensity in the vacuum region. Okay, so we can consider this question as a combination of this dielectric portion plus the remaining vacuum, because these together forms this system. So I have assumed the potential difference between the in the region of dielectric is V subscript D, D for dielectric. Okay, so I have assumed that the potential difference in within the dielectric is Vd, and in the remaining portion in which there is vacuum, I have assumed the potential difference is V subscript V. subscript V for the vacuum in this remaining portion, both of them, okay, together. So it is clear to you now that the potential difference across these plates, this V, this one, is going to be the sum of Vd and Vb, because Vd and Vb, if we sum them up, we will get the total potential difference between the plates, okay. So in order to go to the third step, that means in the third step what we do, we find out the potential difference between the plates. That is what we do in the third step. So in order to find the total potential difference between the plates, we have to sum the potential drop, a potential difference across the dielectric plus the potential difference, a potential drop across the vacuum part. This is the key point of this question, and this is the important point, okay. So let's find out. So let's find out separately first what is the potential drop in the dielectric region and what is the potential drop in the remaining vacuum region. Let's find out separately. So first find out the potential drop in the dielectric region. So the potential drop across the dielectric in the dielectric region will be how much? See, Ed into T. Why? Because within the dielectric region the electric field is Ed. We have denoted with it Ed, and if you see properly the diagram, the region where the thickness of the dielectric is only T, and since within whole thickness T the electric field is constant, that is Ed. So that's why we will use this formula, V equals to E into D. But do remember here, this D is the length or the thickness in which we have to find the potential difference, and E is the electric field in the region. So here in case of the dielectric region, the thickness D is T and E is Ed. Clear? Got the point? And this V is how much? Vd, that is potential drop across the dielectric. Okay. So put the value of Ed, that is sigma by K epsilon naught. Mark this as equation 1. So we have got the potential drop across the dielectric. Let's find out the potential drop across the remaining vacuum portion. So now only the remaining vacuum portion is left for us, okay. So let's first find out the thickness of the remaining vacuum portion. See, our dielectric is in the thickness T and this whole separation is D. So what is the thickness in which there is a vacuum? Of course it is D minus T. See, in the thickness T there is a dielectric and the remaining portion is vacuum. That's why if we subtract T from this total thickness D, we will get the thickness of the vacuum portion. So that's why in order to find out the potential drop across the remaining vacuum portion, I have used the thickness as D minus T, and EV is what? EV is the electric field in the vacuum region. Clear? So the potential drop in the vacuum portion is EV into D minus T. Put the value of EV here, that is the electric field in the vacuum region, or we know that it is sigma by epsilon naught. So mark this as equation number 2. So we have obtained the potential drop across the dielectric region and across the remaining vacuum region. Hence the total potential drop between the plates, that is V, is given by the sum of Vd and Vb. Put the value of Vv and Vd obtained in equation 1 and 2. So here sigma T by K epsilon naught, and it is sigma by epsilon naught into D minus T. Take sigma by epsilon naught common in both the terms, and if you rearrange the terms here, you will get the final expression as V equals to sigma by epsilon naught D minus T plus T by K. So this is the potential drop between the plates of the capacitor, okay, when there is a dielectric of dielectric constant K having thickness T is filled between the plates of the capacitor, okay. Now put sigma here, okay. We know that sigma is how much? Q by A. So put the value of sigma. So when we put sigma here, we will get Q by A. So this is make this as equation number 3. So this is the final expression for the V. So we have obtained the potential drop between the plates of the parallel plate capacitor. Let's go to the last step. So since we know that the capacitance is given by QIV, where V is the potential difference between the plates, so put the value of V obtained. So I have put it here. This Q and this Q will cancel out. A epsilon naught will go to the numerator part, and if you rearrange the terms, you will get the final expression of the capacitance as this. So this is the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor when a dielectric of dielectric constant K partially fills a thickness T between the plates of a parallel plate capacitor. Clear? So you must remember this formula. It is very useful for the numericals. So it is simple, epsilon naught A divided by D minus T plus T by K. Now let's discuss some special cases, okay? So we will use this formula to derive some standard results for the other cases also, okay? We will not repeat the same procedure for deriving other things. We will directly use this expression to obtain the other results. So let's discuss them one by one. So some special cases. So the first special case is when the dielectric completely fills the gap between the plates. See, this we have derived earlier, when dielectric completely fills the space. But here we will derive the same thing using the expression derived earlier, okay, derived above. So when the dielectric completely fills the plate, this is the condition. So in this case, the thickness of the dielectric is how much? Of course, it will be the total separation between the plate, that is D. So that's why P equals to D. So only thing we have to put in the expression is P equals to D, and we will get the expression, final answer. So put P equals to D here. So when you put P equals to D here, so this D becomes 0. This K will go to numerator, and you will obtain the final expression as K epsilon naught A by T, which is K times vacuum capacitance. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the second case. So the second case is when a conducting slab completely fills the gap between the plate. Okay. So now the case first we have discussed when a dielectric slab fills the gap. Now in this case, a conducting slab fills the gap. So first of all, you must know the difference between a dielectric and conductor. Then only you will be able to solve this. So if you properly remember, we all know that the dielectric constant of a conductor is infinite. This is we are going to use here, okay? So many of you must have figured it out what we have to do. Yes, that is right. We have to only put K equals to infinite in that expression and we will get the answer. So let's do it without wasting any time. So this is our dielectric, this is our conducting slab which is completely filling the gap, and let's put finally K equals to infinite. Oh, one more thing, we will also have to put the thickness of this slab. Since this slab is completely filling the gap between the plate, that's why the thickness of this slab we put is P equals to D. So these two things we will put in our expression of capacitance. So put both the things here. So T is D, in place of K put infinite. This term will tend to 0. D minus D is also 0, so that's why the denominator is 0, and when the denominator is 0, this term will tend to infinity. So that's why the capacitance is infinite. So you must remember this result. When there is a conducting slab between the plates of a capacitor and it completely fills the gap, okay, in that case the capacitance becomes infinite. Okay, so this is an important result. Let's move to the third case. So in the third case, the conducting slab is going to partially fill the gap between the plates. In the second case, it completely fills the gap, but in this case, it will partially fill the gap between the plates. So let's say it fills the thickness T. So let's say this is our conducting slab and it fills a thickness T between the plate. So what we have to do in this case? The same thing, put K equals to infinite and don't change T in this case, because in this case the thickness of our slab is T. We have assumed it as T. So put T equals to T. So T will not change. You have to only put K. So put K as infinite. This term becomes 0. So this is the expression final. So this is the final expression of capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, and there is a conducting slab of thickness P between the plates. So epsilon naught A upon D minus. Okay. So this formula you should also remember along with the other formulas. So let's summarize the whole thing we have studied so far in the capacitor topic. So with the help of this table, I will explain you all the cases we have discussed so far. So there are two rows. First row for the partially filled case and the second row is for the completely filled case. So in vacuum, there is no partial filled, completely filled. Vacuum is always completely filled. So in case of when there is a vacuum between the plate or air between the plate, in that case the capacitance is given by epsilon naught A by D. Okay. When there is a dielectric slab which partially fills the gap. Okay. So for the partial filling of the dielectric, the formula is epsilon naught A upon D minus T plus T by K. Derived it today. And when there is a conducting slab which partially fills the gap, in that case the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor is given by epsilon naught A upon D minus T. Okay. When the dielectric slab completely fills the gap, in that case the capacitance is K epsilon naught A by D, and for the conducting slab it's infinite. Clear? So these are all the cases summarized in a single table. These are the important formulas which you must remember for the numericals. Okay, so this is all about today's video. In the next video we will be discussing about the energy stored in a capacitor. Okay, so thank you.